My next guest is never at a loss for words when it comes to President Trump. Welcome back, the former White House Communications Director under President Trump, noted, and my friend Anthony Scaramucci. Mooch, what's going on? You Democrats, I don't know, you're just beating up Trump so badly.
Now I'm a Democrat.
Well, you got to be.
I
mean, I think you got to be. If you're
Listen, I get that you are like a Trump sycophant and you're like a Trump acolyte, but there are many Republicans that have broken away from this party that believe in the institutions of our democracy. So I'm far from a Democrat.
Anthony, would those institutions be
patriotism first?
Would those institutions be? I guess you're for higher taxes because Trump has lowered taxes. Democrats want to push them up. I guess you're against the conservative Supreme Court because Trump has put in Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, and he may have to replace two more. I mean, I'm just let's come on, Anthony. Second Amendment. He protects the Second Amendment. He defends the police officers. You're from New York. Cops, NYPD are important people, but you want him out and you want to put a Democrat in.
All right. So I gave you a chance to talk. Got to give me a chance to talk. So, number one, you're talking about higher taxes. You and I both know we're from Wall Street. That deficit spending is unfunded tax liability. Somebody has to pay it at some period of time. We've generated $5 trillion of deficit spending in the Trump administration. So if you're a Republican, you can't tell me that's conservative party, Republican Party politics to do that sort of stuff.
Okay, let's stay right there. Stay right there. Because both will do the same thing. I agree. Trump has failed on that mission of reducing the deficit, but both will do. They'll increase the deficit. But under Trump, we, the people, get the money that's being spent. Under Democrats, it goes for spending that government tells you they think they need to spend on.
Well, you're missing that point. You're spending the money. You got $5 trillion. What do you want to do? Do you want to not have the taxes raised to meet the deficit spending? Or then should we cut the spending? What should we do? We have to do one or the other.
Yeah. No, I don't want taxes
So what
raised.
You're suggesting is under President Trump, no taxes, heavy deficit spending, so our grandchildren and great-grandchildren get crushed with lower living standards sometimes
we're saying
in
the same
future.
thing. We're saying the same thing. Both parties are spending too much. My point is under Trump, the Republican, it goes back to the people. We're getting checks to people. Businesses are getting checks helped out. Under Democrats, they're spending on things that no individual people are benefiting from. They're spending on programs. They're spending on transfer payments. I'm not feeling it. Let's move on.
Transfer payments go directly to the people, Eric. Let's move on to the next topic.
Let's talk about the Second Amendment.
You want to talk about the judges?
Let's talk about the judges and the Second Amendment. Go.
Well, first of all, Joe Biden grew up in Scranton, PA. My family's from Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area. We've had guns in our family our entire lives. Joe Biden and his family were hunting the Friday after Thanksgiving like every other family in that area. So the notion that we're going to disband the Second Amendment is nonsense. No one's going to repeal the Second Amendment of the United States. I understand that we have to have a culture war. And I understand that the president is losing favorability and he's losing voters. His base is actually eroding. And so we have to scare people into thinking that we're going to change.
I won't scare anyone.
I understand that. I understand that we have to do that, but Joe Biden is not that guy.
I won't scare anyone.
Sanders is that guy, but Joe Biden's that guy.
Let's use Biden.
It's about preserving the institutions of our democracy. I'm a patriot first. I'm a partisan deep last. I love my country.
Right.
The guy is rattling the institutions of the democracy. He's taking post office boxes and he's removing them from your street corner to try to help himself in an election. You can't do that.
All right. Post office boxes were removed in Portland because they were being vandalized. But let's get back to the Second Amendment. Joe Biden is the one who said
being removed.
Beto O'Rourke was going to be his gun czar. Beto said, we want AKs gone. We want the Second Amendment, the right to own a gun, to be a privilege, not a right. Those are Biden's words. Anthony, 15 seconds.
You want a crazy person with a gun in their hands going into a school, Eric? I know you don't. I don't want one either. Okay, so if you're telling me that the way the gun legislation is set up in the United States right now is perfect, I'm telling you that it's not. We have to get very smart people on different sides of the aisle, exactly what the founders wanted us to do, to breach and make a consensus, to come across the aisle, meet each other and say, okay, we got to fix this. You don't want your kids in harm's way from a gun any more than I want my kids in harm's way from a gun. We don't want crazy people having guns in their hands.
But
you're a normal person.
We know, Anthony, the Republicans are the party that defends the Second Amendment. Democrats are the ones who are pulling guns out of people's hands. Come on. Come on. I mean, listen, I know you don't like Trump, but you can't go back on all your conservative principles because you don't like the guy.
Did we? I'm not going back on my conservative principles. Joe Biden is more of a Republican, and he's more conservative, at least fiscally, than Donald Trump. Let's go back to the Clinton and the Obama administrations. Did they repeal the Second Amendment? Tell me one thing Donald Trump has done that you dislike. Go ahead, Eric.
I don't like taxes. I don't like taxing people to bring products into the United States. I'm against trade barriers. I don't like trade barriers.
You're against the tariffs. Okay, yeah, that's a sign of his imbecility and lack of understanding of the economy. We got to go because we're getting into the heart of the matter now. I miss you, man.
I miss you too. We'll bring you back.
Thank you for inviting me back on.
All right, brother. See you soon.